Hello, everybody, and welcome to SauceCon, and thanks for joining this talk. So today we're going to talk about debug and release mobile apps faster with quality signals. I'm Lina. I'm the Group Product Manager for Mobile Testing Experience at Sourcelabs. I'm based out of Germany, and I've been with Sauce for a year now. Joining me today is Gil Megidish. He's our mobile architect and TestFairy co-founder. So today we'd like to walk you through how the product teams at Sourcelabs are thinking about helping you save time to debug faster and thus release faster with confidence. So Gil will also demo a couple of new capabilities that the teams have been building, and those capabilities will really help you with signals backed up by data and context, and you will see things very different in Sourcelabs from what you've known before. Okay, let's get started. So one of the things that are driving our product thinking is high release velocity. So that's always a key objective for all software companies because it allows you to create value much faster, stay ahead of the competition, and also making your customers happy and retaining them. So therefore, our hypothesis is that if we provide you with more context and more data with your test, it will help you reduce the time to detection and resolution, and thus then it will help you release faster and with confidence. But of course, there are many areas across the software development lifecycle that contribute to high or low release velocity. The problem space is quite big and it's nuanced. So let me walk you through a few of these challenges that we see and hear from customers. So looking at organizations, their team structures, they differ massively from one organization to another. We sometimes see smaller development teams, the developers are testing, there are no QAs involved, they're working maybe on one app. There are other structures where we see QA working closely with development and with product. They do maybe a three amigos, they're working on one or maybe two apps. All of them have something in common. If there's a slow collaboration and it's not backed up with data and the right signals, then it will increase the time to resolution and thus releasing. On the other hand, every company has a different release strategy. So it depends on their business priorities, on the team needs, but also on the business characteristics. And therefore, also quality can really dictate their release structures, whether they're doing a feature-based release, a time-based release, or hopping on a train. It cannot be the case that test becomes a bottleneck. So it gets even more complex with increasing app complexity, right? Because if we want to see modern, performant, and secure apps, they rely on many, many different downstream services, but also third-party APIs. And with this complexity, time to detect and to resolve increases dramatically. And it's often unclear where the issue or error is coming from. So developers in QA, they want to reproduce it. They try to figure out where the error is coming from, and they spend a lot of time on it. And this results also in tests becoming a bottleneck. And there's a lot of frustration on the developers, on the development side, and with the QA testers. And it ultimately reduces the quality of work. Now, with all this in mind, at Sourcelabs, we're taking all the feedback and learnings from customers, and we recognize that it's extremely valuable to get the quality signals that matter to help you release faster and build better apps. So imagine going from, I don't know what happened with my test, to having deeper insight on where an error is coming from. Also understanding why crashes are happening and where exactly in your code. So you're able to quickly know your next step and take your mobile app testing to the next level. And with that said, I'll hand over to Gil to show you all the new capabilities that the teams have been working on. Okay, take it away, Gil.
Hi everybody, my name is Gil Megidish, and today I want to show you a few things we have developed here at Sourcelabs, features to help you release better apps faster. But before I dive into those, I want to show you this app of mine. You can see it's an e-commerce app. You can click on an item, look at its bag. I can change colors and add it to the cart. And then I can view my cart. And if I'm not satisfied, I can just remove the item. And what's going on? Oh, there we go. All right, let's pick another item. I'll take this awesome bike light. And then, what just happened? Where did my app go? Okay, let's dig a bit and see how the app behaved. I'm going to end the session now. Click on Test Results. And then click on the session we just recorded. This is the test results page. On the right, we have the good old video from the device. On the left, you'll notice that we have a new tab, Interactions. This is a bird's eye view of how I interacted with the UI. At the bottom, you'll notice 3 new tabs, Network, Error and Crash Reporting, and last but not least, Device Vitals. Let's start with Interactions. You can see I have some tabs. I clicked on UI elements. This is the button I pressed when I changed the color to red. You see I have a label, view ID from the app resources, the name of the class, and an XPath. I can just copy paste this XPath into an Appium test and have it working in no time. Just by looking at the interactions, I can immediately understand what happened in this session, and I can also click and skip to the appropriate place in the video. Let's talk about the bottom bar. First, we have the Network tab. The Network tab shows me the network request my app has sent during this run. Let's click on one of those requests. Here you can see the request was to add an item. I have a request method and the response status code. Scrolling down, I have all the response headers and the request headers. You can see cookies here, custom headers such as trace ID. This request also have a query parameter called ID. Let's take another request, one that failed. This is an endpoint for collecting analytics about my app, but you can see I got a 4 or 3 here. This is something I want my team to investigate. It could be a server-side problem. Again, I have the request method, that is a post, and the status code. The response headers are here, and the request headers too. Notice that this request also has a payload. This will help me debug the problem. The Network tab is everything you would expect from a Chromium Network Inspector. It has filters and a search bar too. Now let's move to the next tab. This is Error and Crash Reporting tab. It tells me if the app had a crash and if I logged errors. You can see I haven't logged any errors, but I do have a crash. This is why my app disappeared into thin air when I clicked on the bike light. Let's click on View Crash and see what we come up with. This is the Crash Debug panel. On the right, I see the call stack leading to the crash. I have the exception message, and I have the file name, line number, class name, and exception type. Looking at this, I know exactly where the problem is, and fixing it is no-brainer for my team. Alright, let's close this tab and go to the previous one. Lastly, the device vitals. We have 3 charts here, CPU performance, memory performance, and UI responsiveness. CPU performance tells me the percentage of compute time my app was using each second of the video. The memory performance tells me how many megabytes my app allocated. This is where I'll see memory leaks or resources not being deallocated. And UI responsiveness shows me the performance of the UI thread. Lower is better. You can see I have a peak here. This is bad. This is the reason why my app did not respond when I clicked during the use. Definitely something I need to fix before releasing to the App Store. To recap, we have seen 4 new features: Interactions, Network, Crash Reporting, and Device Battles. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gil. That was great. All these features will be coming soon, and in fact, network capture is available now. So if you have an account, go ahead and try them out. And if you don't have an account, please go sign up at sourcelabs.com. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Gil and I are here in the audience and happy to take any of your questions.